Are you dealing with a fatigue that just won't quit? Or maybe a kind of brain fog where you can't think as fast as you used to? Maybe you've even noticed you're a little unsteady on your feet, or your family says you walk funny. These feelings are incredibly common, but are they really normal? Well, we're going to explore how these vague, often dismissed symptoms might not be about aging at all. Instead, they could be pointing to a specific and, more importantly, a totally treatable condition. Now, look at this list. What's really interesting here is just how nonspecific these symptoms are. And according to doctors like Ken Berry, that's exactly why they get missed. I mean, things like neuropathy, that burning or tingling in your hands and feet, or new irritability, even depression, they could be caused by hundreds of things. But they all share one potential root cause that's so often overlooked in adults over 60. And this quote, wow, it just brilliantly illustrates the core problem. If you've ever mentioned these concerns to a doctor and felt kind of brushed off, you're not alone. Dr. Leslie Kernison points out that this is a real issue in medicine. This assumption that these are just part of aging can stop a proper investigation right in its tracks. So if it's not just getting older, then what is it? Well, all of these seemingly unrelated symptoms can point back to one hidden culprit, a vitamin B12 deficiency. So what even is B12? It's an essential vitamin, also called cobalamin, that your body just can't make on its own. It's absolutely crucial for creating red blood cells, the things that carry oxygen and give you energy. But just as important, it's mandatory for making something called myelin. Think of myelin as the insulation that wraps around your nerves, kind of like the plastic coating on an electrical wire. And this right here is the critical connection. When you're low on B12, that myelin sheath, that insulation, it starts to break down. Your nerves just can't function properly. And that directly leads to the numbness and tingling, the balance problems, the slow thinking, and the fatigue. It's a direct biological link between a simple nutrient deficiency and all those symptoms so many older adults just put up with. So this brings us to the key question. Why is this so much more common as we get older? The answer is fascinating. It's not usually that you're not eating enough B12-rich foods. The problem is absorption. Let's look at this comparison. See, to absorb B12 from your food, you need two things: strong stomach acid to separate the vitamin from the protein it's attached to, and a special protein called intrinsic factor to then carry it into your bloodstream. Well, as we age, our production of both of those things naturally declines. And this isn't some rare issue we're talking about. This statistic from Dr. Emily Carter is just staggering. By age 60, more than half of adults have low stomach acid. That means even if you're eating a steak or taking a standard multivitamin, a lot of that B12 might just be passing right through you, completely unused. And it's not just age. A lot of other really common things can block B12 absorption. If you take medications for acid reflux or that common diabetes drug metformin, your risk is higher. The same goes for anyone with a history of stomach surgery or digestive conditions. And of course, because B12 is mainly in animal products, long-term vegans are also at a very high risk. Okay, now, This is one of the most important takeaways from this whole explainer. You might be thinking, hey, my doctor tested my B12 and said it was normal. But Dr. Carter explains that a standard blood test only shows how much B12 is floating around in your bloodstream, not how much is actually getting into your cells and your nerves. This is why you can have normal lab results but still feel every single symptom of a deficiency. Your nerves could literally be starving. So a lot of people realize they might need more B12 and they start taking a supplement. But this is where several common, really critical mistakes happen that can make that supplement completely ineffective, especially for older adults. The first mistake is using the wrong form. Most cheap, common B12 supplements use something called cyanocobalamin. It's synthetic, and your body has to work to convert it into an active form. Well, that conversion process slows down a lot as we age. The better choice, by far, is methylcobalamin. It's a bioactive form that your body can use immediately. No conversion needed, making it way more effective for anyone over 60. The second mistake is inconsistency. People often take B12 only when they feel tired, treating it like a cup of coffee. But as Dr. Carter emphasizes, B12 is not a stimulant. It is a repair nutrient. Your nerves need a steady, consistent, daily supply of it to rebuild that damaged myelin sheath. Skipping days just interrupts the whole healing process. And finally, a simple but really impactful mistake: timing. Because B12 plays a role in energy metabolism, taking it late at night can sometimes make you feel a little too alert and interfere with sleep. And of course, poor sleep slows down nerve repair.
The simple fix? Just take your B12 in the morning or early afternoon. Support your energy during the day without messing with your rest at night. Okay, so we've covered the problem, the cause, and the common mistakes. Now let's put it all together into a simple, clear action plan you can actually use. First, how to talk to your doctor. You start by asking for a standard serum B12 test. But here is the key. If that result comes back in that low normal gray area, anything from 200 to 400, don't stop there. Ask for a confirmatory test for something called methylmalonic acid, or MMA. This test is a much better indicator of a true deficiency at the cellular level. When your cells don't have enough B12, your MMA levels go up. It's that simple. Now for the protocol itself. First, choose the right form. Always methylcobalamin. Second, use a sublingual version, a little tablet that dissolves under your tongue. This lets the B12 absorb directly into your bloodstream, completely bypassing that whole stomach acid problem. Third, dose matters. 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms daily is a really common, effective range. Fourth, be relentlessly consistent every single day. And fifth, time it right. Take it in the morning. And ultimately, this isn't just about changing a number on a lab report. As one of Dr. Carter's patients said, it's about feeling steady again. It's about trusting your feet when you walk. It's about not losing your words mid-sentence. That's the real measure of success, getting your quality of life back. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at your own routine, are you just checking a box by swallowing some random B12 pill? Or are you taking it in a way that is actually set up to support your nerves, your brain, and your energy for the long haul? Because the difference, as we've just seen, is, well, it's everything.
Thank you for being here. Your best years are just beginning. Subscribe and share the 60 to 100 YouTube channel with friends who need this message. Let's age brilliantly together. Watch our next episodes. Just click on the thumbnails. Thank you.